Hey everyone, as you all know, we just got back from Texas doing an amazing show down there in Dallas. And while I wanted to kind of take a day or two before I was able to share some of the stories, and we've got some dandies, trust me. I wanted to stop everything I was doing. It's, as you can tell here in Missouri, well, it's actually a little darker outside than it looks. It's rain, and when it's raining, can't do a whole lot here where I live, which happens to be a farm, quite rural. So when it rains, I'm definitely more inclined to do the gym and jewelry stuff. But I wanted to take a minute because something I think is far more important than a story about Dallas or gym shows or whatever we normally do. And I want to talk about something that sometimes can be really confusing, and that's Gemstone Clarity. I deal with this a lot, and it really... I wanted to take a few minutes, more than a few minutes, and explain it to you guys, to everybody. Yeah, I do enjoy explaining it, but I don't get a chance to do it to everyone. And I get so much contact on the website, on even in person at gym shows, etc. But I don't get a chance to kind of explain it. And I don't make money off of it. I don't make any kind of revenue from these videos. I do it because I give a shit, and I want to kind of, pass along the information to you guys. And Gemstone Clarity is got to be one of the top, most confusing subjects of all time. And I'm going to break it down for you a little bit. I'm going to talk about what this little book here that I have in my hand, how we grade gemstones, the differences between gemstones and diamonds, how that affects you, some nomenclature that's involved, and try to do it all under 10 minutes. So let's go. All right, so talking about Gemstone Clarity, they're not diamonds. First of all, first and foremost, gemstones are not diamonds. We don't grade them the same. We sometimes adopt some of the same wordage and clarity words, but they're not the same. And you cannot use the gemstone clarity scale versus diamond versus gemstone. You just can't do it. It's not the same. So we've been using industry practices like that's here in this book called The Guide. Now, this book, if you go to look for it online, you're probably not going to find it. You might find an old copy on eBay or an auction site or something like that, but they don't put it in print anymore. It's all basically online. And so you can't find this. So what I'm going to be referring to you in this, you may have to go online and pay for a subscription to find. But once you get the information, you really don't need to subscribe to it, however you need to get it. But I'm going to refer to this a lot because I can hold it in my hand and show you. Okay, how we grade gemstones is based on something different than we use. Diamonds are one thing. Gemstones are many different thing. So we can't grade gemstones the way we do diamonds and it be congruent. So whenever you see a diamond that is, we'll say VVS, VVS1, etc., 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 you can't hold an emerald, which is known to have many inclusions, many times more anyway than a piece of carbon, in the same standard. So we use something in gemstones called clarity types. Clarity types, okay? There's 3 different clarity types with colored gemstones. Clarity type 1, clarity type 2, and clarity type 3. 3 different clarity types. So each time you get a gemstone, that particular mineral is going to have a different clarity type. Now, I just mentioned emerald. Lots of inclusions. This is commonplace. So when you get an emerald with an inclusion, that's quite normal. It isn't going to have the same effect as if you get a gemstone that's not supposed to have them, okay? For example, an aquamarine, that is what we call a clarity type 1. An emerald is a clarity type 3. Clarity type 1 simply means that it's not, you really don't want to have inclusions for it to be a gem grade. At clarity type 3, you can expect some inclusions, mild to moderate. Let's just take just a random gemstone here, demantoid. Demantoid garnet. Come down here to the clarity type 2. Stones over 1/2 carat may not be eye clean. Do you know what that means? You may see some visible inclusions. Characteristic horsetail inclusion, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go to another one. Peridot, Clarity Type 2. Some small inclusions may be seen. Red Spinel, Clarity Type 2. Let's go to a Clarity Type 1. Golden Barrel, Heliodor, Golden Barrel. Type 1, usually eye clean. Very high clarity to minor inclusions under magnification. So there are stones that we expect to have moderate inclusions in them. Rubellite tourmaline, emerald, and there's a few others, sphalerite, that you are normally going to see inclusions. When you get a diamond, you don't normally want to see inclusions. That will greatly affect the value. So before you value a colored gemstone, you need to know the clarity type of that gemstone. Topaz, Clarity Type 1. That means it needs to be clean for it to be of gem value. Tourmalines can change within the gemstone. So green tourmaline and dicolite tourmaline, those are Type 1. Rubellite tourmaline, golden tourmaline, those are a Type 3, so you can expect them a little bit in there. And this is quite confusing because people will see a colored gemstone, especially online, when they're just seeing it from afar, a photograph, and they want to know, what's the clarity of that stone? Well, you kind of need to know the clarity type before you make a big assumption on it or make a purchasing decision, especially if you are like a lot of the people who are watching this video now. You buy or you sell or you're involved in gemstones. And guys, hey guys, if you're on any social media and you're putting a stone as VS or VVS and there's a little inclusion in there, knock that off. You can't do that. A VVS stone doesn't have visible inclusions. You can't see them. If a stone's VVS and you can see an inclusion, it can't be VVS, all right? So we do use a lot of different terminology in the colored gemstones. We'll talk about how a gemstone faces up. How's it look when you're just facing up, looking down? We'll talk about how if it's loop clean, if it's eye clean. When it comes to gemstones, trust your eyes, okay? Getting a loop and getting a powerful magnification on it may not be the best way to grade that stone, because that's not how we grade them in the marketplace. We look at them face up and see how they look, because that's what the consumer's going to do. So if you're getting down on a stone with the 30 power magnification and you're seeing junk in there, I mean, look, we're all taught to look for imperfections in gemstones, but that can go a little bit too far. So I just wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about gemstone clarity. If you get a chance, just look them up. Just Google gemstone clarity types 1, 2, and 3. You'll get more information about it. You'll be able to grade gemstones a little bit better. You'll be able to understand, okay, rubellite tourmaline should have a few inclusions, and if it doesn't, whoa, then it's even rarer. So the value will go up on it. Just a few things you need to know about it, because I do get a lot of questions on gemstone clarity. People want to know if a stone's VVS, VVS2, VS, SI, yada, yada, da, 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 and it really doesn't imply, or it doesn't apply to the colored gemstones that they may even be asking about. Origin can also play a small role in that. I had a few Kalahari garnets from Tanzania that I posted on Instagram the other day. Those typically have some silk in them. They are not the cleanest stone, but for the color and everything else that you get, it doesn't affect the value. The value is actually quite high on them, and they have inclusions. So you're going to turn away the parcel or the stone because it has inclusions or has gas bubbles in it? Nonsense. So you can kind of overthink things sometimes, and if you just get some basics when it comes to these colored stones, it's going to help you out in the long run, because it's very confusing. It's kind of, I think by design, meant to be confusing a little bit. And I wish I had the opportunity to explain to every person that contacts me online. I don't, but I can here, and I do because I love you guys so much. I promise you, you guys asked for I asked you whether you want to see the stones or a story first. You asked for a stone. I gave you the stone. The stories are coming, like it or not. I got a couple good ones. And until then, thanks. If you have any questions about Gemstone Clarity, just reach me out and I'll definitely share it. Have a good one, guys.